What is up, boys and girls? My name is Aaron, and this is Wrestling by Waldridge. It's New Japan Cup season. Gotta love a New Japan tournament. If you're new here, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the channel where I discuss my top 5 wrestler matches of the week. The week where Big Shaq debuted in AEW Dynamite. And to be fair, I was sports entertained by this match. This match was quite entertaining. I mean, by all means, the quality wasn't of a great standard, but I thought all 4 guys did a great job. I thought the 2 girls looked great. I mean, they're still quite green, but they are good. There's a lot of potential there. I liked the Shaq's powerbomb, which was a good tribute to Brody Lee, and the table bump that he took was great. Now, before I get started, I have some thoughts from the week that I'd like to share with you. Firstly, Hiroshi Tenzan used the Mongolian chop. No, I'm not having it. Call the police! Arrest this man! Toru Yano is constantly shouting. When he's running about, he's shouting. When he's executing a move, he's shouting. When he's taking off a turnbuckle pad, he is shouting. Get this man in LIJ. He needs to learn some tranquilo. It looks like Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon are going to have a match at WrestleMania, so obviously on Monday Night Raw, they teamed up against the Hurt Business. Don't think it was for the tag team champions, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Where, you know, Braun Strowman did his... Well, it looks like he's going to have a massive poo before he runs around the ring. Why does WWE insist on having their title holders lose in order to set up a number 1 contender? Moose! Love that guy. The Young Bucks were so annoyed about MJF and Chris Jericho attacking Papa Buck that they came out and they cut a promo. When Timothy Thatcher smiles, a puppy dies. NXT UK's Noam Dar's Supernova Session is the best talk show in WWE. Don't at me. And a shout out to Meiko Satomura and Kaylee Ray, who had an absolutely brilliant match from this past NXT UK, which probably came in at number 6 for me. But without further ado, here are my top 5 wrestler matches of the week. To kick things off, at number 5, we've got Kota Ibushi versus El Desperado for the IWGP Heavyweight Champion and the IWGP Intercontinental Champion from New Japan's 49th anniversary show, which obviously has the annual tradition where the Junior Heavyweight Champion will face the Heavyweight Champion in a match. And I believe this is the last title defence of both the Intercontinental and the Heavyweight Champion, as New Japan are obviously merging the titles. I don't know why, but fair play. How good does Kota Ibushi look? That man's physique is incredible. Dude looks like the Incredible Hulk. His muscles are bigger than my head. This was a fun match which told a story which constantly developed, but centred around the underdog story of the junior heavyweight in El Desperado trying to overcome the heavyweight, which was Kota Ibushi. And we started off with a solid back and forth, a really good technical battle, which then transitioned into a really super hard-hitting battle between both of these men. However, not to be goaded into falling into Ibushi's game plan, El Desperado begins to target the previously injured leg of Kota Ibushi, which, might I add, Ibushi did a good job of selling here, and the pacing really picked up as the final third of the match featured some great reversals and some really close, exciting near falls, followed by a frenetic finish where Desperado avoids the Kamagoi, locks in his numero dos, which is his modified version of the stretch muffler. Ibushi escapes, hits a Kamagoi, Desperado kicks out, but then Ibushi hits another Kamagoi for the 1-2-3 and the victory. I was quite glad that Despi couldn't hit the Pinche logo here, as it does make you wonder if both men had another match, whether the result would be a little bit different. Who knows? Okay, next up at number 4, a rare triple threat match between El Desperado, El Fantasma and El Bushi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion from New Japan Castle Attack Night 2. The match predominantly followed a triple threat structure of 2 men in and 1 man out, but the match did feature lots of exciting junior heavyweight action, and the match told a great story of El Desperado having to overcome a brutal assault by El Fantasma, as El Fantasma takes Desperado up to the top of the ramp, hits the nastiest looking pile driver, and then rips off his mask and then wears it. What a douchebag. However, Desperado grows another mask, comes back into the match, and exacts some revenge on Fantasma. The match then kicks into a higher gear as we get a plethora of near falls, followed by El Fantasmo summoning the ghost of Bullet Club's past as he hits a Styles Clash, he hits a V-trigger, he then goes for a one-winged angel but fails, and then he uses an Undertaker-inspired pin attempt. Dead Man Club fought for life. We then saw a really fun finish with Fantasmo hitting the CR2 on Desperado, but before the referee could make the 3 count, Bushi comes out of nowhere and catches the ref's arm. Bushi then attempts an MX on Fantasmo, but before he can hit it, Fantasmo hits Bushi with his sudden death super kick. And then Desperado takes advantage of the situation, hits Fantasmo with 2 Pinche Locos, and picks up the victory here. And El Desperado has all the gold as he wins the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. And coming in at number 3, Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre in a brutal match from Monday Night Raw. Just 2 big, beefy boys beating the hell out of each other. I love it! That's my Vince impersonation. Sorry. The match told an excellent story of how Sheamus and Drew knew each other so well and constantly had answers for everything they were throwing at each other. And I loved how both men even used each other's moves, such as Drew using Sheamus's chest punches. He also hit Sheamus with a really good looking avalanche white noise, and then Sheamus hits Drew with the Alabama Slam, which we often see Drew use as well. It was stiff, it was snug, and the selling was just magnificent. Great psychology from Sheamus as well, attacking the previously injured jaw of Drew, which Drew sold beautifully. And in general, as you'd expect, the selling and registering of all of the moves, as well as the exhaustion as the match progressed, was absolutely brilliant. And I'll be remiss in not mentioning the absolutely awesome spot in the middle of the match, where Drew hits Sheamus with a belly to belly on the edge of the announce table. Ouch. And then Drew follows up by hitting Sheamus with a suplex onto the announce table, just to add insult to injury. And there was loads of exciting near falls, which led to an awesome finish where both men went for their finishers, but Drew connects with the Claymore before Sheamus can connect with the Bro Kick. Drew goes for the pinfall, 1, 2, 3, Drew wins. And coming in at number 2, we go to New Japan's Castle Attack Night 2 again, where we saw Tetsuya Naito versus Kota Ibushi for the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, not the Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, this was a bit of a weird build-up, but the match was great. Guys, it's all good. Naito and Ibushi didn't kill each other. I mean, that's a pretty big success in itself. The story focused on Naito relentlessly attacking the previously injured leg of Ibushi, as well as attacking the neck in the latter stages of the match to set up the Destino. And the match started off with a fun game of one-upsmanship here, which is often the case when it comes to Ibushi and Naito matches, but this one came in the form of some really good mat wrestling. Ibushi did a decent job of selling the leg throughout the match, and I thought Naito's facial expressions were really good here, such as that cheeky smirk that he has after he begins targeting the leg of Ibushi, and when Naito has Ibushi in the figure 4 leg lock, he just has those crazy eyes. Scary stuff. I love those stiff elbow strikes that Naito uses to the neck. They just look absolutely brutal every time he does it. And after we saw a last ride, a Valentia, a Destino, and loads of close near falls following those moves, there was an awesome finish where Naito kicks out of a second Kamagoi after Ibushi had hit him with a Kamagoi in the back of the head. However, before Naito can recover, Ibushi hits him with a third Kamagoi and hilariously just falls on top of him to pick up the victory. Ibushi retains in the last IWGP Intercontinental title match ever. And coming in at number 1, Tomohiro Ishii versus Jay White in a brutal singles match from New Japan Castle Attack Night 1. The early story here focused on Jay White frustrating Ishii, trying to goad him into making some mistakes by not engaging with him directly, always playing mind games, and also having Gato interfere throughout the match. There was just fantastic heel work here from Jay White, who just made you really want to see him get beat up by Ishii. It was always just so satisfying when Ishii finally got his hands on Jay White in this match, and the match did a great job of building up to these segments. The story then develops into Jay strategically attacking the ribs of Ishii in order to affect Ishii's breathing and his stamina for the rest of the contest. And Ishii just does a brilliant job of selling the ribs and has great facial expressions to show how much pain that he's in. But Ishii can also be really terrifying. Like when Jay White just forearms him in the face and Ishii's just there like... Personally, I wouldn't mess with him. The match featured some exciting near falls and led into an interesting finish, which could be slightly polarising. I've heard different opinions on it, but most importantly, I enjoyed it, as there was a lengthy sequence of reversals and counters which eventually led into Jay White hitting Ishii with the Blade Runner, then hits the 1-2-3 and picks up the victory. In my opinion, this was an outstanding match from both men. And that is my list. So, what were your favourite wrestling matches of the week? If you agree with me or disagree, let me know in the comments section down below and we can have a good old chat about it. And obviously we have a stacked week of wrestling coming up. I think we've got 5 New Japan Cup shows, with one of them obviously featuring that mouth-watering match between Okada and Takagi. That should be bloody brilliant. And then we've got AEW Revolution tonight, which I am super excited for. I wonder who that mystery man's going to be. Personally, I think it's going to be RVD, but let me know what you guys think. We've also got a stacked NXT, where we're going to see Toni Storm versus Io Shirai for the Women's NXT Champion. We've got Finn Balor versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. And then we've also got the standard weekly shows as well. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, hit the notification bell and subscribe. It would mean so much to me, guys. And I hope you all have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.